WWE Payback 2023 is in the books, and what many of us thought was going to be a mediocre B show turned out to be an incredibly pleasant surprise. We had matches that had us on the edge of our seat. We had insane hardcore moments. This pay-per-view had it all, and we're gonna run through all of this in this review of Payback 2023. And hey, as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I'm confident that you're gonna like this YouTube channel because we upload daily wrestling content. The show kicked us off with Becky Lynch defeating Trish Stratus in a steel cage match in a 20-minute slobber knocker that shocked us all, because many of us thought, oh great, another Becky Lynch Trish Stratus match that's probably gonna bore us to death. But the ladies came out torching. They cooked an entire meal for everyone in attendance, easily putting on the best match that they've had to date. We had some crazy spots as well, with a super vertical suplex from the top of the cage, something that I never figured I would see somebody like Trish Stratus take. And we also had some nice callbacks with Trish Stratus hitting a widow's peak, which is a nice little homage to one of her old rivals, Victoria from the Ruthless Aggression era, and even Becky Lynch hitting a twist of fate again as a little homage to Lita. The match wasn't without shenanigans. We did have Zoe Stark get into the cage. The whole point of the cage was to keep her out, so I mean, I found that a little bit weird, but her involvement didn't really take away from this match, because what I could tell was that these two ladies were fucking pissed to be left off of SummerSlam, and they came out with a vengeance to demonstrate to Triple H and to the WWE that they were wrong for leaving them out of that SummerSlam card. Honestly, for all of us as fans, it was a bit of a blessing in disguise that they got left off of SummerSlam, because they got to be a focal point of a smaller pay-per-view, but they were the opening act and they were one of the best matches of the entire night. This match for me gets an absolute thumbs up. This was the pleasant surprise of the night. I really genuinely believed that this was going to be a weak match. I thought that the cage was going to limit what they could do, but these ladies absolutely demonstrated that they came to play. They came to torch the house down. That match was an absolute just banger and a great way to start the show. Next up, we have LA Knight versus The Miz, with a shocking surprise that John Cena would be the special guest referee of this match. Before the match kicked off, we had John Cena and The Miz in a fun little promo segment before the match actually kicked off. Two of the best to ever do it with the microphone, so that to me is always going to get an A+. John Cena and The Miz, like, those two make absolute magic when they're in the ring together. Honestly, they can have promo battles until the end of time, and I'm going to be smiling from ear to ear. What I will say is, before the match started, we got a proper endorsement of John Cena, giving John Cena like the Cena rub to LA Knight by putting over the yeah chant, and the second LA Knight's music hit, that was easily the loudest pop of the night. The match itself was literally just nothing special, which is what we all predicted. Neither of these guys are gonna put on a 5-star Tokyo Dome style match, but what it was a nice cohesive narrative that they were telling in the ring, a narrative that they carried from their feud on the microphone on Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, which carried into their trash talking in the actual ring. John Cena did play a part in this match, which I didn't necessarily love his involvement, his physical involvement with the likes of The Miz and LA Knight, but hey, it didn't take away too much from it. If anything, I feel like the John Cena involvement really helped elevate the importance of this match. What happened towards the end of the match with LA Knight facing off against John Cena, I don't know if this is necessarily going to lead to anything between them, but it's something for us to keep in the back of our heads. LA Knight did end up getting the win, and he got the endorsement from John Cena at the end, so this is a huge vote of confidence from the WWE that LA Knight is gonna be one of their guys. So don't be surprised if we see LA Knight in major feuds and major involvements with the likes of John Cena for the next 7 weeks. Next up, we have Rey Mysterio versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship. This match was fine. Like, it wasn't anything special. Rey Mysterio looked great in this match, and also so did Austin Theory. There were some great counters that led to some great offense on the part of both Austin Theory and Rey Mysterio. There were no real greater storylines being told in this. This was really just a straight up one-on-one match for the United States Championship. I was really hoping for some craziness with maybe Carlito coming out, getting the LWO to turn on Rey Mysterio, but I think we're still really premature into telling that side of the story. But I had a feeling that Rey Mysterio was going to win this, because in my mind, mind, it looks to me at least like the WWE is fairly dead set on doing some sort of match between Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar for the United States Championship, either with a heel turn or maybe a proper like passing of the torch, student mentor style. I don't know what they're going to do, but to me, it's very, very clear that it's going to be Santos versus Rey Mysterio at some point or another. This match also, it gets a thumbs up for me as well. Also, I'm just realizing that I didn't give a thumbs up or thumbs down for LA Knight versus The Miz. That also gets a thumbs up for me. Next up, we have the match of the night alert. We have the Judgment Day. Damian Priest and Finn Bálor defeating Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to become your new WWE Undisputed Tag Team Champions. And I did not have this on my bingo card, folks. I was willing to mortgage everything that I own that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were not losing these titles. I felt like the reign was really just about to get started. We even had some teases of them feuding with the likes of the Street Profits. So this is a genuinely shocking outcome, but a hell of a great outcome because it got one great reception from people in Pittsburgh. Now, the match itself was an absolute beautiful train wreck. We had tables being broken. We had power bombs on a bunch of chairs. We had Kevin Owens bleeding a la John Moxley. We had a hockey fight kind of segment between Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Dominic Mysterio. We had Kevin Owens becoming Kevin Hardy and doing a swanton from the crowd onto Dominic Mysterio through a table. It was absolutely bananas. Now, the match looked like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were about to pick up the victory, but we had involvement from the greater members of the Judgment Day, like Rhea Ripley, as well as a JD McDonough, who broke up a pin that was just about to get the victory for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. This match was one of my favorite matches of the year. What a wonderful combination of an absolute train wreck. This is how you honor the likes of Terry Funk, but also the narrative that was told within the match was excellent as well. Like, if you only get to watch one match in Payback, it's this one. This is the match that you need to watch. So this tag team match gets an absolute thumbs up for me. So far, this show has been an absolute banger, and we do hit a little bit of a lull here in the match between Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez for the WWE Women's World Championship. Now, we got what many of us were looking for, which is a long Rhea Ripley match that wasn't just a squash. These ladies went on for over 17 minutes, but it was 17 minutes that somehow felt like 35. It was a very slow, methodical, hard-hitting, bruiserweight style of a match that took a while for it to actually pick up. I will say this match did a great job showcasing and highlighting Raquel Rodriguez's immense level of strength, and her ability to pick up and throw around somebody like Rhea Ripley was an incredibly impressive feat of strength. I did at one point say, I wonder where Dominic is, and then boom, just like I summoned the Candyman, Dominic Mysterio shows up, and in classic Judgment Day style, Dominic Mysterio gets himself involved, distracting Raquel Rodriguez long enough to be able to give Mommy the opportunity to hit her with a Riptide 1, 2, 3. Rhea Ripley retains, and she's still your women's world champion. The match was fine. It's just that we haven't been able to give Rhea Ripley a match worthy of succeeding that WrestleMania match. Like, that WrestleMania match, yes, was phenomenal and probably the best women's match of the year. I can't see any other women's match topping that. But we haven't even gotten to 5% of that. Every single match from Rhea Ripley in terms of her title defense has been fairly lackluster or incredibly short. So this, to me, didn't really do enough to help solidify Rhea Ripley's title reign. It's still a very, very weak title reign, in my opinion. But hey, at the very least, we can announce Dominic Mysterio as the true MVP of Judgment Day because he helped the fellas win the tag titles and he helps Mommy retain. So I'm going to give Muscle Mommy Bowl a kind of thumbs down, but not like that bad. Oh, I did forget that we had the Grayson Waller effect with Cody Rhodes, which really wasn't for Cody Rhodes because all Cody Rhodes did was announce somebody else to come out to do the Grayson Waller effect. And that somebody else happened to be Jey Uso, who has now been confirmed to be a full-time member of Monday Night Raw. So now we have Jey Uso on Raw, Jimmy Uso on SmackDown, and now we've got pieces of the bloodline everywhere. And this one piece of the bloodline that's been brought over to Raw was brought over there by Cody Rhodes. So now we might have a narrative as to how we bring Cody Rhodes back into the Bloodline storyline and inevitably, because you know it's inevitable, set up the rematch between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes at this year's WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. And next up, we have the main event, Seth freaking Rollins taking on Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I gotta say, man, the presentation of Nakamura has been absolutely immaculate. What they've done to make us care about Nakamura again has been nothing short of amazing. And during his entrance, they played this like anime villain, Yakuza boss movie basically for us. And it was absolutely amazing. As somebody that watches anime and loves anime and considers themselves a little bit of a weeb, I had goosebumps seeing that entire video package of anime Nakamura. That shit was fucking awesome. The match, on the other hand, was pretty lackluster, if I'm being honest with you. It was very slow, and it was telling a tale of Nakamura targeting the back, but even then, I don't think that it did a great job at that. I feel like we could have done a little bit more of highlighting the back and attacking the back. I don't think that there was enough of that for us to really believe that Seth Rollins was going to lose because of this back injury. And lo and behold, the back injury towards the end played little to no impact on the match, which just led to a stomp 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins wins the match. But the match was boring. I'm going to just be honest with you. The match was boring. And before the match, I had told my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/SantiZap, that hey, every time Nakamura has a premium live event match, it hasn't been good. Like, it's just the truth. Whether it's that WrestleMania match, the SummerSlam match with Jinder Mahal, his premium live event performances have, for the most part, been rather weak. He has not been able to channel NXT Black and Gold Nakamura when it matters. And I think today is another example of Shinsuke Nakamura not performing when he needs to perform. Because for the first time in a long time, the fans were actually chanting Nakamura's song. That matters. That matters because WWE did such a great job of making us care about Nakamura again, to the point where we're singing his song again. Remember, one of Seth Rollins' sticking points in their promo battles was that no one sings Shin's song anymore, and he was right. But not today. People were chanting his song during his entrance, during the match, and he didn't deliver. Straight up, I feel like I'm being a little bit harsh. He did not deliver, and I think this is a common thing for Nakamura throughout his appearances in premium live event matches, because these two absolutely should be putting on match of the night, and it wasn't, and it just wasn't match of the night. Here's the thing, it wasn't a bad match. I'm not sitting here saying that it's a terrible match. I'm just telling you it wasn't a great one. That's just how it is. Either way, I'm still going to give the match a thumbs up because it is a good enough match, but for what it should have been so much better. And that's it. That's the little B-tier pay-per-view that could. A pay-per-view that had a lot of fantastic moments. I thought that premium live event, I keep calling them pay-per-views. I need to get that out of my vocabulary. This premium live event was good. If you want to go watch it, go watch it. I think you're going to have a great time. But the match of the night is definitely the tag titles match. Don't sleep on the women's cage match. That shit was fire. And Cena was being Cena. And Cena being Cena is good for all of us and is good for professional wrestling. All right, that's it. Get out of here.